Jose and I are 18 when I became pregnant with our first son. He just joined the Coast Guard, so we are new to Virginia. Jose and I have been together since high school. We met in Hawaii and quickly fell in love. A week into his first deployment, I'm at the doctor's office and they are telling me there's something wrong with my baby, but they need to do more tests and ask me to come back on Monday. I did not know anyone in Virginia. I felt so alone and I was so scared. Seeing my fear, the military hospital contacted Jose's commander, and he is flown back to join me at that appointment on Monday. This is a day that I learned our unborn son has cerebral palsy. They tell us that our son might not be able to walk or talk or go to a regular school or work. I am so scared, and my husband, Jose, has a hard time processing everything. The hospital social worker recommended we place our son up for adoption. We were just too young, and we didn't have the experience to be able to meet his needs. I felt so unsure. All of the adults with degrees were telling me that I couldn't raise my own child. I did not know what to believe or who to trust. Jose felt helpless too. He is a fixer and he couldn't fix this. On June 20th, 2006, our son Jaden was born. He was born with a full head of black hair, just like mine, and he looked so healthy. I was relieved until we learned he was also blind and had significant brain malformation, which led to many more medical complications. Despite everyone suggesting we place him for adoption, we decided to keep him. But as Jaden grew up, it was really hard. Our lives were consumed of multiple medical appointments, lots of tests and lab work, and lots of therapies. But he is able to walk and talk. Eventually, but all that talk about adoption stayed with Jose and me. We learned that despite everyone's suggestion that we place him up for adoption, that adoption would have still been a difficult path. Kids with disabilities in foster care or otherwise have a really hard time finding families. So this broke my heart. So Jose and I submitted our application to be adoptive parents. But agencies keep telling us that we're too young, we just got married, and we have Jaden, that we didn't have the experience, so we were not suitable. Eventually, Jose is transferred to Massachusetts, but by this time I've given birth to our daughter, Abigail. Jaden is 7 at this time. He loves Power Rangers and loves anime. He's very outgoing and loves to be loud when he wants to be heard. His sister turns out to be the quiet one of the family, except when she's watching Disney and singing and dancing around the house. But as our family grows, we still wanted to adopt. But like in Virginia, agencies in Massachusetts don't contact us for years. We start to feel forgotten. I stress myself out thinking maybe they read something in our application that made them feel we are not suitable. Could it be because of our age? Jose's job, maybe because of Jaden, or is it me? It keeps me up at night. Until one day though, Jose and I were in the kitchen and I get this phone call from a social worker named Neil telling us he has our application and would love to talk. Then I respond with, I submitted that years ago. He immediately apologizes and explains to me that adoption from foster care just takes a lot of time. And this is when I realized that it wasn't me all along. We immediately start taking classes and talking to social workers about the profile of the children we would consider. We go through a long list of questions related to age, gender, and potential health challenges. And we say yes to almost all of them, specifically kids with disabilities. And this is rare. We are told they are hardest to place. So things go from super slow to super fast. and the ink on our home study was still drying when Neil calls and tells me he has a little boy that he wants to talk about. I meet him at Panera, and he shares everything about this boy's background. His name is Emanuel. He is 4 years old, like Abigail, and he has cerebral palsy, like Jaden. So I didn't even wait to talk to Jose before I said yes. I just tell him that night in the kitchen, and he says, okay. The first day Emanuel visits our home, he went straight for the toys and immediately calls us mom and dad. And Jose smiles and looks at me and says, well, we definitely can't say no now. Before he arrived, we obviously told Jaden and Abigail all about Emanuel. Jaden was surprised, and then he felt empowered when he learned that Emanuel also has cerebral palsy. In our community, there's not a lot of opportunities for kids with special needs to feel like role models or leaders. So Jaden felt like he had a lot to teach his new brother. One of my favorite moments that I have with my children is when we are home and Jose is home from a deployment and we are able to share dinner together as a family. Emanuel's our third child, but not our last. After we adopted Emanuel, we started to host other kids in foster care. And eventually, Emanuel's older brother joined our family. Today, I'm a coordinator with an adoption agency. And when I meet potential adoptive parents and they ask me, what do you need to adopt? I tell them, you don't need a lot of acronyms behind your name. All you really need is room in your home and in your heart. Thank you.